What is going on, YouTube? So coming back today with my Seattle Seahawks football preview for 2016. So this will be my final preview of the 2016 set of previews, at least done on YouTube. Like I said, I will have all 32 team previews done in the same format, just written out on my website on the NFL preview blog page. That will be the link to that will be posted in the description below, as always, as well as all the other previews that I've done so far. So let's go ahead and get started. Start with my 3 key players. And this one's actually going to be 4 key players, even though I consider the third one to be like of equal importance. So we'll still say it's 3 key players. All right, first one, Russell Wilson. Developed into a top 3, top 4 quarterback in the league, depending on who you ask. Top 5 for sure. And, you know, I think he's really shown over the last couple years that, you know, it's not really just the fact that he's on a good team the reason that he's good. He's just been a good NFL quarterback. You know, he doesn't have the same supporting cast he had when he came into the league anymore. You're talking about a guy that has, you could argue 3 like role player type receivers a couple years ago. Well, Tyler Lockett last year was a Pro Bowler, and then Doug Baldwin has turned into, you know, maybe a solid, like maybe a lower tier 1 wide receiver, upper tier 2, at least a reliable starter. A guy a couple years ago who was just like I'd say a second or third wide receiver on the depth chart. So he's done well. So secondly, I got Thomas Rawls, and this might be one of the most important players for the Seahawks this year. I actually have a lot of faith in their backfield. I like both running backs they picked up in the draft between C.J. Prosise and Alex Collins. The rookies out of Notre Dame and Arkansas, I liked them both heading into the draft, and I think that Alex Collins honestly can be actually a really good player in the NFL one day. You know, a good starting running back in this league. He was an absolute monster at Arkansas. Christine Michael, I've had a lot of faith in since he came into the league, but nothing has really turned out, similar to Robert Turbin. So see if any of those guys can provide some depth. But again, Thomas Rawls was big when he was called on last year, and he's going to have to be big again this year. So third key player, and this is the set of 2 key players, I'm going to say it's the safeties for the Seahawks. You know, Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor have been good over the last, obviously they've been great over the last couple of years since they've been, put together on the same team. But it seems like over the last, 2 years, they've kind of steadily gone, downhill a little bit. And if the Seahawks want to get back to where they were, 2-3 years ago, I think they're going to have to, at least find some of that magic they had 2 years ago with, remember the no-fly zone defense, all that stuff. So, this is still a very, very talented team that actually has that original secondary back since they acquired Brandon Browner. So, hoping for big things for the Seahawks secondary this year. The talent's definitely there. So, best case scenario for the Seattle Seahawks. Best case scenario is 13-3 with the Super Bowl win. They get back to where they were. They still have the talent to do it. There's no doubt about that. Even though they did lose, even though Marshawn Lynch is gone, I still think that Thomas Rawls is a more than capable running back. The defense still has everything in place that they need to be able to make a big run this year. I'd say the linebacker spot is probably the weakest, but even then, I believe the only new starter is Michael Morgan. They still have KJ Wright, Bobby Wagner, and the secondary is definitely stout, or it looks like it's going to be stout. The defensive line looks as good as ever. They still got Cliff Averill, one of the best defensive linemen in the league, and Michael Bennett. So worst case scenario, I say it's 9-7 with missing the playoffs. This team, like I said, has been trending downhill, man. I believe they went 10-6 in the regular season last year and made it in with a wild card spot. Right now, they might not be the most talented team in the NFC West. The NFC West is a rapidly changing division right now. A couple years ago, 49ers and Seahawks were the class of the division. Cardinals and Rams were kind of duking it out at the bottom, but they were the clear top 2. Now it's the Cardinals and the Seahawks. Who knows? The Rams can step up. They got a lot of young talent. Number 1 overall pick at quarterback. I just made a video on it the other day. Maybe the best running back in the NFL. So that's worst case scenario, though, in my mind. I don't think that they're going to decline that quickly. Again, this team still has the talent to do what they did a couple years ago. Maybe getting back Brandon Browner will bring back some of that old magic. But get on to my actual record prediction. I think they're going to go 11-5. hopefully for them, for their fans, start trending up in the right direction again. Get back on the winning, or get back to their winning ways. I don't know if they'll take the division, but either way, I still think they're going to get in the playoffs. So that'll pretty much do it for this video, and this is going to wrap up the team preview portion of my NFL previews. Starting tomorrow, let me see if I can find the schedule for this. Starting tomorrow, that is not it. This is it. So starting tomorrow, I'm going to do my NFL awards, Super Bowl pick, and then move into, I believe there's like 5 other videos. The overall season preview, 10 breakout players, 10 bold predictions, top 10 teams, and then my sleeper team for the year. So if you do want to see the entire schedule outlined, that is also on my website. Again, the link to that will be in the description below. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff, and those links will be in the description below as well. But that's pretty much it. So yeah.